Yeah, we finally made it. We finally made it. We're on, guys. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second day of casting of the Alpha X Apprentice tournament, our very own new in-house tournament. And today we're gonna be casting Group C. I think we're gonna cast some interesting games. Of course, I didn't see any of them yet, but I know these players. It's gonna be Tokon, Damrod, Lisk, and Asuna. So it's gonna be every race, and of course this group is really intense. We already have some really strong rivalries and in this group, and I'm just overall really curious about what these games are going to offer us. So we're gonna have as our first games of today Asuna versus Blisk, first week of the Group C games, and it's a ZVP. Zer versus Protoss, first game on Disco block. Oh, sorry, this is not gonna be the first game. Yeah, Asuna versus Tokon is gonna be our first game for today, guys. Protoss versus Terran on Ephemeron, of course, the map of the first week. This first map has been chosen by the admins, but let's not hang over here some more and just get into this wonderful game of StarCraft, into casting the first of these games. We have two very strong players. Of course, Asuna, one of the top players of Alpha X, and Tokon, one of the best parents of our team as well. So, who knows what this game is going to offer us. Anyway, let's get into introductions. In the top left-hand corner of Ephemeron, we have our purple Chinese Protoss. It is Asuna. I think he is Chinese, I'm not too sure. Spawning instead in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Terran player hanging from Poland. It is Tokon. So Tokon, being a heavy bio player, he prefers playing his Marines, his Medivacs, his Marauders, and transitioning to Ghosts. While Asuna has a wide variety of playstyle available to his quiver. And let's see what those two guys are going to offer us. Of course, Probe Scout is gonna be... Oh, sorry. It's gonna be the standard for Asuna. He's gonna probably expand really soon as he finds out that nothing really too aggressive is coming outside of Tokon's base yet. Trying to delay the barracks, of course, as well, very standard, and maybe force the SCV to place the command center slightly off place. Okay, it's gonna be a cybernetics core first and Nexus second for Asuna, who hopes to just delay a little bit of mining time from this command center, forcing it to lift as soon as it is done. No big deal for Tokon that he's gonna send an SCV soon to complete his command center, just delayed by a little bit. Asuna sending his probe back home to avoid it being killed by the Reaper. I'm not too sure if he's gonna eventually avoid the Reaper from getting on top of the probe, but it seems like he's hiding in a quite fancy place, of course, over here. Tokon instead going for his Reaper aggression, and Asuna checking with another scout what is gonna be. It is a reactor, and we see a factory in the main of Tokon. At the same time, of course, the Wolof on the high ground. The Adept is trying to get on top of the Reaper, but it actually shades away. So this shield battery is gonna be what is gonna save these probes and force the Reaper to lose some time. But of course, this shield battery will be out of juice soon, forcing eventually... I do not see any more units being warped in. I think that it... Okay, it is a Stalker. So eventually Asuna will shoot this Reaper away, but this Reaper sees it's a Twilight Council opening at the same time as this Adept sees basically everything in the main base of Token, sees this factory producing something. It is a Widow Mine, so it's gonna be Widow Mine drops. But will Asuna be ready for it? Of course, the choice of Token of going into Widow Mine drops instead of aliens, probably since he saw this shield battery in the main. That didn't shoot away. I don't think this is gonna be a kill because the Stalker will be here in time. This Widow Mine really low on HPs. But still Asuna sees what's coming and is preparing to deal with it. Researching Blink, get his 9 Stalkers to do some harassment, or maybe 4 Stalkers in the Warp Prism, we're gonna see shortly. And the robotics facility in the main, of course, to just strengthen his tech options. Meanwhile, Token getting ready to head over Asuna's base. Here with this Medivac almost done, just 2 Widow Mines being produced. This is gonna need slightly less micro, he can think more about his base. Of course, going into second barracks, it's a big indicator of bioplay, but we'd expect nothing less from our Polish Terran. Meanwhile, Blink halfway through, will Token be able to disrupt a little bit of Asuna's economy, which is currently flying over the roof. 43 workers to 32, a third base on the way. Asuna placing pylons everywhere to scout any medivac from coming. But this is easy got it. Oh gosh. Unfortunate pathing for Token. Right now, Asuna knows what's coming, and he's probably going to, yeah. The Stalkers move forward, trying to, okay, those Widow Mines will not deal a lot of damage. 1, 2, 4 probes are actually going to fall, but the Widow Mines are gonna get cleared. So overall, not too worth of a harass for Token, who's still a lot behind in workers, and he's going right now for a Raven, a more defensive option. Of course, killing the Observer, where it is? Okay, it's over here. Killing the Observer, denying some vision from his opponent is gonna be really important as well. The Observer goes down. Asuna is blind of the base of Token, but knows very well what's coming. Tanks, Marines, Steam, everything pretty standard for a Token play. Now that Blink is down though, those Stalkers can pack a punch. Of course, the bunker in front of the main of the natural story is gonna easily shoo away those Stalkers, and without any vision on the high ground, no way Steam can be delayed furthermore. Second time being produced, those Stalkers of course just standing outside of Token base, ready to maybe snipe the Raven and then just get away. Doesn't get the kill on the Marine, barely. A Warp Prism to get high ground vision and maybe try to blink on top of those tanks, or just get on top of the tanks and then blink away. The Stalkers caught a bit off guard. One of them is really low on HPs, and the Marines are probably going to kill what's left. Just one Marine fallen right now. Anyway, the Stalkers still trying to catch when his opponent is going to move out, and it seems like Token wants to deal some damage at this precise time. Immortal in production, a little bit of attack Immortal, I don't know. Will he come over here? I don't think he can go through here. Oh, this is gonna be bad for Asuna if the Immortal is stuck over here and Warp Prism is through the map. The Immortal is stuck behind those pylons. One less unit for Asuna to defend. Charge lots being warped in. Actually, it's just normal charge. Normal zealots being warped into the main of Token. But right now, Token is establishing a really strong. Okay, charge just barely finishes in time for Asuna to actually deal with this. Shield batteries, of course, being really helpful in this scenario. Now the Marines trying to steam forward, but only one medivac is gonna help those Marines deal with the charge lots. And it's not gonna be enough. Those shield batteries just out of juice. But now the tanks are getting really dangerously close to Zealots and Stalkers. Every single tank is gonna be cleared. Marines actually stand their ground. 2 tanks still alive, the Riven falls, the medivac is out of juice, but these 4 Stalkers are dead meat against the tanks. Actually, these 2 Immortals being stuck over here are gonna be a huge deal for Asuna, who just barely right now finishes what's left of Tokon's army. Still on a pretty good economic advantage. Right now dropping a 4th base as well. Tokon probably barely overestimated what this attack could do. Those 2 Zealots here, of course, are gonna confirm whenever a 3rd base of Tokon is gonna get chopped down. The command center, sorry, is just almost finished into the main of Tokon. But right now Asuna establishing a 3rd base, getting close to establishing a 4th base, and having a quite powerful army with those Immortals and Charge Lots at the ready. Researching +2/+2, and then a transition into Liberators for Tokon to eventually deal with the Immortals and try to force the Stalkers into not shooting the Medivacs. Those 2 Marauders are actually going to fall to those Zealots, and just the last one standing is gonna clear what's left of this harassment of Asuna. Right now Tokon, of course, with a lot of mills, a lot of SCBs, is almost on par as of mining with his opponent. Gas on the 4th base, not taken yet. I'm actually... How those 2 guys... Okay, yeah. I think Asuna just took the 2 gases in his 3rd base, so surpassing is the gas income right now. But Tokon doesn't want to stop the aggression in this game. A robotics bay just finished for Asuna over here, and it's gonna be Colossi soon. Here it is, the first Colossus in production. Tokon trying to get into a good position. His observer is eventually going to scout everything. Okay, this is a pretty good spot for a Terran to engage. This space is not really easy to defend for Reporters, but the Liberators just barely overextend. Right now, the Sentries get some perfect force fields. Good micro by Tokon, who puts the units back into the Medivac and stands them behind. But right now, the army of Asuna is not taking enough damage, fighting outside of Liberator's range, and it's just immediately Marauders for Tokon, trying to get away with what's left of his army. And Asuna's economy is getting stronger by the minute. +2/+2, almost finished. Thermal Lance just being started, and Tokon forced to back away once more. +2/+2 just almost through for Tokon, but Asuna already starting +3 ground weapons and +1 shield. Tokon has a really good production right here, right now, but I'm not too sure if this is gonna be enough, since he's so behind in economy right now, just mining half of the minerals his opponent is mining at the minute, and these Colossi are gonna probably be the killing blow to his opponent. This Raptor is being produced as well. And right now it seems that Asuna has all the options to deal with Tokon's army. Good Liberator siege over here. Those Stalkers are trying to get on top of the army. Once again, some really great force fields are what's gonna be shoo Tokon's army away. Now these Liberators are into a really good position, forcing the Stalkers to blink before, and right now Asuna has to dive on top of the Liberators. Tokon's army is just too far away, but the Terran player happily sacrifices 2 Liberators to just try and deal as much damage as possible to that 4th base, actually killing it. But 9 SCVs have also fallen, right now 10, and there is not a lot of things going on in Tokon's base to actually deal with those Zealots into his main base. Right now, Asuna pushing forward, having cleared basically everything that was left from Tokon's army. And this has been a really good game decision right here. With those zealots in the main, just doing whatever they want. Tokon doesn't have an established siege liberator on his ramp, and Asuna can freely work zealots and his army on top of that if he wants to. Okay, keeping this third base safe is the priority for a Terran player who's just too behind in economy, I think, and I fear, to just climb back into this game. Liberator's range almost done, but at the same time, Templar Archives have finished for Asuna, and Blast 3 is almost done as well. Archons are just a little bit too hard to kill right now for Tokon's army, who's trying to establish a fourth base while his opponent is happily at 82 workers right now. Hello VK Control. Right now Asuna with the tech and also the Dark Shrine probably trying to go into Shadow Stride play to just finish his opponent. These Liberators are gonna keep safe the base alongside those Marines and Marauders, but right now Asuna dives on the other side, tries to get on top of this command center, and with Blink at the ready and Disruptors zoning the opponent's army, it's gonna be way too easy for the Protoss player to just get damage done and back away. Almost maxed out gateway units, Colossi, Disruptors, Archons. The army of Asuna is just a little bit too strong for Tokon to handle right now with the kind of production and economy he has right now. More Zealots heading into the natural, killing SCVs while the main army dives on top of the Liberators, gets on the last good mining base of Tokon, who's desperately trying to save this command center, but not a lot of SCVs alive at the moment. 25, Tokon calls the GG, and Asuna gets game 1 of this best of 5 series. Hope everyone is having a great day. But I just want to get some more StarCraft, guys. So let's head into game 2 of Asuna versus Tokon. A really interesting game 1. Of course, Tokon on the aggression, while Asuna was trying to just tech up, get a better economy, and just deal the finishing blow to his opponent. So it seems like the first game has been played on the Korean server, I think, and the second one is gonna be played on EU. But let's just get into the game. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, lagging 1 point behind in this best of 5 series. It is our red Terran player. Heading from Poland, it is Tokon. Spawning against the purple Protoss in the top left hand corner, it is our very own Asuna. Once again, I'd say two macro player, that's how I will define them, not going for anything too cheeky. This is gonna get walled off by just a pylon and a gateway. And right now Asuna goes for the standard scouting with after the gateway, trying to maybe delay the barracks a little bit. And I always ask myself, why are those things here? Like, is there just like for image, or do they have a purpose? I'm just never too sure. It seems like the distance between the command center and this is the same as between this and this, but it doesn't make any sense. Anyway, Tokon also going for a standard play. Asuna will try to delay this barracks, but Tokon just has to pull one SCV. The other one is probably going to be sent to the natural to make the command center. Asuna will try to force misplacement like in game 1. Not that it is a big deal, but still. It is something to just force your opponent. Okay, it's not gonna get forced, and the command center is gonna get dropped just barely out of time. Just barely later. Well, Asuna is going for a Cybernetics Core and into Nexus again. Reaper is done, trying to get some damage, but once again Asuna places a shield batteries in his main base, in his mineral line, to just try and minimize the damage coming. Also to send the Adept out as soon as he can, but what do we have here? A pylon hidden in the middle of the map, pretty close to Tokon's base overall, as you can see. Anyway, the Reaper gets into the main. Asuna feeling pretty safe with his shield battery, and oh gosh, look at the range of those things. Yeah, no damage is gonna be dealt by this Reaper whatsoever. Just a really good scouting tool, but nothing more. Now the Stalker forces the Reaper into a bad spot, but these things are too damn slippery. And right now the Adept trying to get what's going on in Tokon's base, and the shield deep, the supply depot is actually up, allowing Asuna to see the barracks in production. Well, the barracks being producing Tekla. Okay, 4 Marines, of course, are already a pretty big call for the Protoss player, who probably doesn't know yet that he's facing a 2-1-1 build with a cyclone, defensive cyclone. And here comes the Tech Club for getting a early steam upgrade. Reaper just cutting everything that's coming in. Probably is gonna get a probe, but Tokon is not paying a lot of attention to this Reaper, otherwise he will get so many probes. Asuna with a bit of miscontrol over here. Tokon not taking good care of his Reaper, since these probes are completely undefended right now. And Tokon could have dealt so much damage at this spot. Getting 3 probes already big deal for just the Reaper at this spot in the game. But of course those 4 Stalkers are nothing to frown upon. The Cyclone trying to get as much damage as possible alongside those Marines. But right now the Stalkers can get 3 shots on top of these SCVs, and 4 Stalkers actually 1 shot an SCV, if I remember correctly. Yes, they do. 3 SCVs have fallen down, 3 probes, a lot of mining time being denied by Asuna, who's getting into a pretty good spot, since timing with a 2-1-1 opening is so clutch. And apparently Tokon is going into a Raven play. Tech Lab next to the factory. Actually, it's a reactor. Well, these Stalkers have been quite a nuisance for Tokon right now, who's behind a lot of workers, 7 workers behind, half of the army supply, and this work gate over here has been so annoying for Tokon right now. Stalkers and Adepts easy to deal for a later army of a Terran, but not so easy to deal right now. I don't think those Stalkers are going to blink into the main base of Tokon once blink is done. But still, this is a lot of lost mining time for a Terran player. Asuna already getting his third base going. Nexus just barely started. Good scan by Tokon. And right now, +1 weapons being researched by Tokon. Actually, this is the Maru opening. Yeah, this is the Maru opening. Definitely. Anyway, charge being researched by Asuna, who's getting into his stronger tech, dropping the robot as well. And right now, the only thing that Tokon has going for him is SCV production, but 26 SCVs just in the main. Okay, right now Tokon trying to drop the tank on top of the mineral line, behind the mineral, sorry, to just shoot his units away, but just the Raven with the 2 turrets are going to shoot these Stalkers away. But Asuna already with a pretty strong army, just doesn't have yet what it takes to clear the Raven and the tank. Of course, this observer is not gonna... Oh gosh. Okay, Asuna doesn't miscontrol his observer, and is trying to establish even more map control with these Stalkers trying to blink into the main, but Tokon gets the intentions of his opponent and just forces him to blink away. Observers being placed basically everywhere. Those Medivacs are not gonna see the gateway, but just barely. While this observer is instead going to see everything. And I just want to see Asuna's camera right now, of course dealing with as many units as he possibly can. And right now, probably the Medivac should start eating. Well, actually, yeah, here it is. The Medivacs into the main of the Protoss player, Tokon, actually blindsiding his opponent and trying to get on top of the robo production. Really good drop by Tokon, who can actually delay some tech options for Asuna, who's just slightly too strong in economy right now to really be annoyed by something as this coming into his base. At the same time, Tokon trying to expand to a third base location, getting an orbital command, just trying to playing it safe. Asuna already on a fourth base, really strong macro and economy focused play for the Protoss player, who's focusing a lot on getting a strong early lead with just gateway units. And right now this Medivac is gonna get... I think Asuna is gonna eventually have to cancel this base if Tokon is paying attention to this, but as well as probably Tokon will have problems placing that command center as soon as the army of Asuna comes at his doorstep. Actually, this is not gonna be a cancel. Asuna paying attention to this base, dropping just barely enough units to save the Nexus. Tokon flies his units away, and we're just again hitting the mineral lines of the Protoss players. 8-9 probes have fallen to this one Medivac drop. Really good job by Tokon, actually slowly crawling back into this game, saving these Marines as well. Really big deal of getting also the War Prism. Tokon playing a really strong mid game right now after a really shaky early game. I don't think that it's gonna be enough for him to actually climb back into this game. Asuna just has the tech, has the economy, just has everything it takes to deal with his opponent, but Tokon showing great confidence in just surviving this mid game with very strong Medivac drops and defense. The army of Asuna is moving out right now, as well as the one of Tokon. This is gonna get messy pretty soon. Stalkers blinking forward on top of those Marines, knowing nothing too big can come out of this. This Stalker gets 2 SCVs, of course another big deal, but now the recall into the third base is gonna delay the attack of Asuna some more, but it's just Stalkers right now. The charge blocks weren't there in time, and right now Tokon dealing a lot of army damage to his opponent, barely losing any of his units, and really good micro of course over here by Tokon, who's gonna get eventually surrounded on those units, but he's buying more and more time, he's dealing more and more damage, and now he can get those units into the Medivac and just fly away if it is needed. A little bit of greed over here. There was no need to fight this army with just 2 Medivacs and units barely alive. He's gonna lose a little bit too much over here, but his production is pretty strong. Of course, losing the Medivacs is probably the biggest of deals right now. He's still pretty rich on gas, but the economy of Asuna has been really strong this whole time, even though Tokon was able to disrupt it time after time. Now the Terran player is getting his 4th base, but he's not really strong on workers right now, having just 52 right now, 4 in production at the same time. But the tech just isn't there for Tokon, who's just now starting researching +2 armor for his bio units. Getting this Nexus, of course, pretty big deal, or almost just evening the... Okay, the snipe on the Medivac was a big deal. Now the Colossus, it's a little bit too hard for Tokon to actually fight. He knows he can fight, he can get away easily on top of those Stalkers. But right now, Tokon just slowly evening the score. And right now, for the first time in the whole game, our Terran player also has a lead in mineral income. Asuna establishing this proxy location once more to just reinforce his gateway army slightly faster. But the upgrade advantage, the tech advantage, not the pace advantage, but the just having Colossi out for Asuna with Blink Stalkers and Archons at the ready. 4 Archons, 4 Colossi actually. 3 Force Fields as well. That's a lot of... Oh, also this Raptor, there's a lot of splash damage just right now clearing this drop that kills 16 of his probes, but the army of Asuna is just mental right now. Just 4 Colossi, 4 Archons, Stalkers to snipe some key units, a lot of splash damage, and Disruptors coming into play. Asuna with a very strong army. Right now, Tokon tries to get a concave, steaming is just his Marauders forward to snipe the Disruptors. Another really intense and especially good micro move by the Terran player, who's gonna try and go for another drop, but I don't think he can afford this. I'm not too sure he can afford having some more units separated from his army. Those Vikings could get some really good free shots on top of the Colossi, and that's exactly what they tried to do. Asuna blindfolding his opponent a little bit, getting those Zealots into his fur base location, getting the army out of tank range. The 2 Medivacs trying to get some damage done at the 4th base location of Asuna, but the Vikings, oh gosh, Tokon lost control of his Vikings for a little bit, and now those Colossi are gonna be a really big problem for the Terran player. Recall on top of this fur base, it's not gonna get saved, but oh gosh, Asuna recalled all of his army, and it's gonna get the lucky shot on the Medivac that was full of units. Right now, not a lot of units standing outside of Tokon space. This is a really good disruption Nova. But right now, Asuna setting up a little bit of a surround, just trying to come from both sides at once. But Tokon has established a pretty good stronghold positioning alongside this planetary fortress, losing the command center over here. Of course, a pretty big deal. And right now, nothing standing to defend this planetary fortress that is gonna fall. And right now, a lot of SCVs are gonna fall as well. And there is not enough income for Tokon to survive the next few minutes. The army of Asuna dives on top of this bio tank army. Tanks are not even sieged at the moment. Tokon asking me to cast Danroot gates, but right now the army of Asuna just melting Tokon. That of course calls the GG right now after almost climbing back into this game. A 2-0 lead is gonna get secured by the Protoss player. Game 3 is gonna be on Disco Bloodbath. Who knows what this game is gonna offer us, but of course those 2 players showing great skill, with Asuna just barely getting the better engagements after losing a lot of probes and workers. The music starts a little bit too tense over here. Anyway, spawning in the bottom right hand corner, it's a red Terran player. He comes from Poland, It is Tokon. Spawning instead of the top left-hand corner, leading the series 2-0 in this best of 5 first week of Alpha X Apprentice is a Protoss player. It is Asuna. Once again, getting his Wolof on the Reaper Cliff. And then going for a Probe Scout. Right now those two players for the third time in a row are trying to go... Oh, this is a little bit of an off. Oh, what is it? What is this probe up to? I think it is scouting for proxies, but Tokon is not a player who actually goes often for proxies. So, I don't know. Maybe he's gonna go for a proxy of his own. He knows this Bloodbath is a pretty big map, so he's not gonna delay his barracks anytime soon if he sends his probe all the way through. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna place a proxy of his own. He's just gonna send the probe back home. And Cybernetics Core... Oh, actually this is a Nexus first and Cybernetics Core second. But both players are actually really happily macroing without any nuisance by their opponents. No Probe Scout from Asuna may cause some suspects by his opponent. But actually Asuna going for nothing too funky right now. That first, as he went for almost all of the games before. Okay, right now the Reaper comes. Tokon doesn't even bother with the Reaper Cliff, knows that that is gonna get walled off. And tries to go for the probes, but actually the Adept this time it's what's gonna shoot the Reaper away, and it's not gonna be a shield battery. Good micro on the probe that is dying, but right now the Reaper is just gonna get away. Actually, it's probably trying to dive on the dying probe once more. But it seems those probes are really fast. I don't know why. Getting one probe with the Reaper, of course, pretty good. But getting the Scout is even better. Tokon knows that's a Stargate in the base of his opponent and knows that it's gonna be a different opening from what he has seen before. Really good play by Asuna with the double Adept opening in killing the Reaper. Of course, Tokon was trying to see what was coming first out of this target. It is a Phoenix, but he doesn't know the purpose yet. It's probably gonna be a Phoenix and an Oracle. Or is it just one Phoenix? Okay, oh, okay, he's getting into more Phoenixes and Adepts. This is a build designed to disrupt the economy as much as possible. A lot of Adepts, a Robo being dropped, and probably Twilight Council being dropped soon as well. Two Adepts do not one-shot an SCV, but they can two-shot a Marine. Okay, the Widow Mine being seen by Asuna forces those Adepts not to shade inside the base. Tokon was actually establishing a pretty good defensive point right now, with the Widow Mine eventually denying an Oracle. With the scan on top of the target right now, Tokon sees there is a Robo, sees there is more Phoenixes in production, and Asuna doesn't look like he wants to stop producing these Phoenixes anytime soon. Anyway, the Marines are gonna shoot these Adepts away, not getting a kill, just barely. Tokon is gonna probably... Oh gosh, the gates are open, and right now a little bit of damage on top of Tokon's production, delaying this barracks by some seconds. But the most important thing that these two Adepts did was getting full vision of the base of Tokon. Right now, the Phoenixes come inside the base of his opponent, trying to get everything that is standing in front of them. Getting the Cyclone, of course, pretty big deal. The Cyclone is dead, but the Marines eventually shoot the Phoenixes away alongside the Viking. Asuna dropping his third base, Tokon just being slightly too slow on establishing his economy in all three of those games. Of course, it's not really easy for a Terran player to get a third base against Protoss, especially if Protoss is going for this kind of opening. And right now, Colossi is the play of Asuna. It's not gonna have a strong army anytime soon, but it will eventually, in 4 to 5 minutes, have a very, very powerful army that can deal with basically everything a Bio army has. For tanks, there are Phoenixes, for Bio, there are Colossi. And for everything else, there are gateway units. Right now, trying to get on top of the production and the mineral lines, those Phoenixes are eventually going to get shooed away. Two Medivacs are trying to get a good drop in the main of Asuna. But those Phoenixes are gonna eventually see the drop coming. Medivacs dropping all of the Marines on the ground. Eventually the Phoenixes are gonna get shooed away, but those Medivacs cannot do a lot right now. Phoenixes trying to deflect any drop. Asuna with a little bit of PTSD after game 2. Those drops dealt a lot of damage, but I don't see this drop causing any damage anytime soon. Thermal Lance halfway through, as well as concussive shells just started. The Observer is gonna get killed soon. Actually, yes, he's gonna get killed. The Phoenixes just barely do not get those Medivacs. And right now, the Phoenixes dive on top of the Medivac and one of them is down. Those Marines are stuck in the middle of the map. They have to walk all the way back home. The drop of Tokon has been denied by Asuna. Phoenixes flying everywhere, getting on top of everything they can, and with the deaths and Colossi, there is not much an army that is composed mainly by Marines can do. Okay, Tokon tries for a second time of going for a drop play. The Phoenixes are slightly off position, but Asuna has established a really good economy once again on 68 workers as the tech. Having rush tech, pretty greedy choice by Asuna, but is paying slowly off. Of course, the upgrade advantage for Tokon is there, with +2/+2 just started with against just +1 ground weapons. But Charge has been almost researched, Templar Arca is on the way, Colossi in production with Thermal Lance, and a really good scouting by Asuna with the pylon place, with the observer place over here. Eventually makes him react a little bit quicker. All of those units are eventually gonna get cleared. The Phoenixes are on top of the Medivacs, the Colossi are on top of the ground army, but 7 probes are gonna fall, as well as the robotics facility, so no more Colossi for Asuna. But the army of the Protoss player is already very strong, and without a Raven to interference matrix those Colossi, this is not gonna be easy. So, last one, weapons for mech, for his ship weapons, of course. It's something I wasn't really expecting right now, but Tokon trying to get his Viking production on, but I think this might be slightly too late. I think those Widow Mines are trying to get some damage done, trying to get a concave on top of the Protoss army, but with these many Zealots, these many Colossi, these many Sentries, and these many Phoenixes, I don't think there's a lot Tokon can do. Trying to get a full surround on the Protoss army is forcing his opponent back off by a little bit, but those Phoenixes right now are diving on top of the Marines, just lifting everything they can, and Asuna slowly chipping away at Tokon's army. Not getting really good trades, but he has the economy, he has the production, and he's sending more and more zealots streaming through the map. Everything has been cleared for Tokon, while Asuna is just sending more and more units, doubling the army supply of his opponent, and the GG is gonna get called soon. Asuna just preventing anything his opponent was doing. Right now, so many SCVs are falling under the shots of the Thermal Lance Colossi. The GG has been called, and Asuna takes the series 3-0. Really good play by Asuna with those Phoenixes, but of course Tokon being a really good opponent in this series, probably not deserving the 3-0 loss. But anyway, we have to get into the second best of 5 we're gonna catch today, and it's gonna be Blisk versus Damrad, a ZVZ. That's my territory. Let's see what those guys have to offer. Of course, Asuna being the favorite for getting first place in Group C, getting a 3-0 win, establishing his first place after this first week. Let's see who's gonna even the score with our Chinese Protoss between those two guys. Spawning in the top left hand corner as the blue Zerg. He's Polish and he's very good. He's Damrad or Damrad. Spawning instead in the bottom right hand corner, it is Blisk. The red Zerg, of course, in case you didn't see. So, ZVZ can go one of those two ways. Either the production tab is gonna be basically the same for the first 4 minutes of the game, or at some point between 1 and 2 minutes, things start to get really different. But I don't think those two players are going for something really different right now. Damrad going for a 17 hatch and a Blisk going for a 16 hatch. The only really big difference is having more larva and slightly less money for the first 2 minutes, but it's not really a big deal in this matchup. Blisk starting his spawning pool slightly sooner, but this is not what really differs a lot in this matchup. Actually, Blisk starting to mine gas slightly faster than his opponent. I think he's going for something slightly more aggressive. Just now on 14 workers in his mineral line, while Damrad going for the absolute standard opening. I think Blisk is up to no good right now, but let's see. Four Zerglings being produced by Blisk, one queen and 4 Zerglings also for Damrad. Second just started. Metabolic boost started way faster for Blisk than it did for Damrad, but those 4 starting lanes, all they can possibly do is trying to force a cancel on the third base. That is gonna be a big deal if that happens, but I don't think that is something that easily happens. Okay, the Bailey Nest by Blisk also gonna be way sooner than the one by his opponent. But this just basically means Damrad is gonna have a way earlier third base location, while Blisk is not gonna drop his third base for quite some more time. Bailey Nest almost finished for Blisk. We can get some better trades on those links right now. But his Bailey Nest doesn't take a lot of time. Damrad right now knows his opponent hasn't get a third base yet. 4 more lanes in production for both players, but right now Blisk already sitting on 8 workers, trying to do some damage probably with Banelings morphing over here and Metabolic Boost finishing slightly earlier than his opponent. Damrad trying to get what's coming out of the base of his opponent, and right now he sees a lot of lanes. A little bit of a panic move by Damrud, who produces 18 more lanes, but it was well planned by the Blue Zerg, since right now 8 more lanes. Oh gosh! Bane lanes almost getting all of Damrud's lanes, but right now those 2 Bane lanes getting, of course, a really good trade. Those lanes trying to shoo Blisk's army away, but many more lanes are screaming through Blisk's army, who's eating a soft supply block right now, but he can freely chip away at his third base location and probably gonna get a third base of his own really soon, but it doesn't look like he wants to. 18 more lanes in production, and he just wants more and more lanes being produced. Getting a good trade over here, 3 Banes for 2, of course pretty good by a red Zerg, who also supply blocks his opponent. Not a really good trade right now on those Bane lanes on top of the Queens, but right now Damrud has a lot more lanes than his opponent that hasn't got a third base location yet. Game is standardizing right now. Damrud slightly more army, slightly more workers, but Blisk doesn't seem like he wants to stop the aggression. No third base got yet, and Damrud is gonna see once again that his opponent is moving out, and Blisk instead is gonna see that Damrud is trying to take his third base location once more. A lot of links have been produced by Blisk that is trying to deal as much damage as he can possibly can with it, but he takes a really bad trade right here, and almost all of the links by Blisk are getting cornered. A really good trade on top of the Bane lanes. Blisk actually getting some really good trades, but right, oh gosh, all of the lanes of Damrud have fallen to just 2 Bane lanes, and right now Blisk has been hitting that Z key once more. 60 more lanes in production, Larry in production, and the third base location. Damrud's third base has not been killed by that many lanes, but a lot of lanes have died to the Banes of Blisk. Just barely getting the better trade. Blisk is gonna dive on top of those Bane lanes, losing some of his lanes, but he's gonna just move away, and those Banes are gonna be dead meat as soon as the rest of the army of Blisk joins the fray. Lair being started slightly late for Damrud, who's also got an evolution chamber. Some pretty good damage is gonna be dealt on top of these links, and a lot of them just died to this Bane link. But once +1 Carapace is gonna be done by Damrud, suddenly the Blue Zerg is gonna have a pretty big advantage. And right now a lot of lanes on top of the third base of Blisk. Banes just now morphing back home. No defensive Banes by Blisk. Pretty big mistake. The third base location is gonna eventually fall, and Damrud can just back away with a worker lead, an army lead, a supply lead, attack lead, dropping a Spire, almost finishing +1 Carapace, and I think the Blue Zerg is in a really strong position right now. Researching +1 melee as well. I missed something over here, but I don't think it was too big. I didn't see supply plummeting. But right now, Blisk knows his opponent is in quite a favorable spot with the +1 upgrade on top of these links. This Pinecrawler over here to prevent any Baneling run by. I do not see Baneling speed being researched by Damrud yet, but he wants to go into Muta play soon, and with these many lanes, with a better economy, with these many gases, actually, this is a lot of gas income for our Blue Zerg. And also with an army advantage in this fight over here, those Banelings have to get a really good... Oh gosh, Bliss Lings get destroyed by those Banelings. Right now, Damrud desperately trying to get as many good trades as possible, denying this third base some more, but I don't think he actually needs it. 11 mutas are in production and Blisk is completely blind to this fire. Damrit almost doubling the supply of his opponent, 16 workers to 49, and the mutas join the fray, getting 3 shots on top of those pains. And right now I think it is too late for Blisk for going into a counter and getting his Spore Chloras. This fur base is gonna fall really soon, and I think that's all that the Blue Zerg eventually needs to get the first game victory on his opponent. I don't think Blisk can eventually hold this. Those queens are trying to do as much as they can to save the fur base, but they will eventually not be able to. And those queens are also going to fall down, and that means no more inject for Blisk. And the Red Zerg knows the game is done. Damrut gets game 1 of the series. So, really powerful Limbane play by Damrut. Of course, this game has gone back and forth quite some times. But let's see what game 2 has to offer us. Once again, Blisk versus Damrut, CVZ. Spawning in the top left hand corner as the Blue Zerg. It is Damrut, and is a 1 point ahead in this best of 5 first week of Alpha X Apprentice. Spawning instead in the bottom right hand corner. It's our Red Zerg player. It is Blisk. Okay, we've seen a lot of Limbane in that first game. Will we see some Roach play these games? Who knows? It's quite uncommon for a ZVZ to being played without Roaches. But once again, Blisk going for the 16 hatch, Damrut going for the slightly safer 17 hatch. I don't think Blisk is gonna do the 12 drones on minerals extracted into spawning pool. I think that's a bit too greedy. Or maybe he will. That's a 17 spawning pool, a 16 hatch, and it's probably gonna be a 17 extractor. Actually 18 extractor. I think Blisk is just jazzing it right now. That's something I don't see too often in CBC, I have to admit it. Damrut is gonna have a way earlier gas than his opponent. I don't think Blisk wants to get gas anytime soon. That's curious. I think I've never seen something as that. Not getting gas? How can you defend Banes if you don't get gas? That's weird. I'm not too sure. Of course, Blisk is gonna get so many more drones than his opponent in the early game. Getting 2 queens instantly, getting his fur base probably way earlier, but still no gas being taken by the Red Zerg. What is this play? Is he gonna get an early third? Oh, I do not understand. Damrut instead going for something slightly more standard. He's not going for lanes as well. Oh, actually he is. For lanes. I mean, those 4 lanes are not gonna be are not gonna deal damage, since those 2 queens are just gonna shoot them away as soon as they come on top of the ramp. But Blisk going for something really weird, just rushing 2 gas in the natural after almost filling both mineral lands. And 2 more queens in production. I fear this might be Nidus. Might be some weird interaction of an Nidus play that eats around 5 minutes with a lot of queens. But Blisk, of course, floating a lot of minerals. And okay, going into roaches, not a full wall off. But I don't think Blisk wants to get his third base location anytime soon. He just rushed to get more queens, to get a good wall off, and get double Evo Chamber and Roach Warren, but who knows? Damrud right now knows his opponent isn't going for a third base of his own, so he might be scared by what's coming, and I don't know, did Damrud see the lair? Oh, he barely sees the lair, and that's a pretty big deal. Starts a lair of his own, but he doesn't start a Roach Warren yet. So he relies on his Banes to eventually micro. I think this is gonna be Nidus anyway. +1 ranged attack being researched by Blisk, who has a lot of queens going on for him. 4 queens actually being alive at once. And he's just saving some energy on some of them for transfuses. So this might also be an overload highway, but those lanes are gonna see everything. They're gonna see +1 ranged, they're gonna see +1 Carapace, they're gonna see roaches popping out of this base. Okay, Damrud going heavily into links. It's just so weird that those players are basically uneven workers, but Blisk has such a powerful army. Damrud going into Spire, while Blisk trying to sneak some roaches away. Okay, getting a third base just now. Went for a really safe approach, but I don't know if this will eventually pay off. Just rushing into roaches, I'm not too sure if that's really what you want to do in this scenario, especially since your opponent has gone for a Mutas in the game before and that actually worked. Damrud trying to get on top of this third base. Of course, these roaches are gonna easily deal with the lanes. Blisk trying to scare Damrud into thinking it's gonna be an Nidus, but by doing so, failing to scout the Spire. And really good block by Blisk on top of this changeling, of that changeling. 8 meters in production right now. Blisk moves through the map with a lot of roaches, streaming more and more roaches. Of course, +1 Carapace roaches do not die easily to Mutas. But that's a lot of links with a good surround, with some Banes hit. 11 Banes, oh gosh. Those roaches are not gonna stay alive for a lot. The last 2 ranged attack for Blisk is on the way. Adral is then researched, Groove Spines, and Blisk just trying to dive on top of the natural. A good surround by Damrud, gets some incredible Baneling shots, and with so many Mutas, I think those roaches are gonna be history in not so much time. Of course they're gonna deal a lot of damage, getting some queens, getting some stuff, but attack advantage by Damrud is still pretty... Or is it not? I don't know. +1 roaches, +1 roaches of course stay alive and deal a lot of damage quite easily, but Blisk losing all of his roaches and suddenly doesn't have a lot going for him back home. Of course, killing 6 drones, basically evening the worker supply. Right now, the Mutas, of course, destroying those roaches. But how many Hydras does Blisk have? Okay, 6 Hydras, not enough Hydras to deal with these many Mutas. It's just 70 Mutas against 11 Hydras. And those Mutas can just blindside Blisk Hydras all they want. Groove Spines being researched but not muscular augments. So those are gonna be slow Hydras with range. Blisk trying to move his overlords back home. You know, whatever way they can. Daily speed being researched, so this is gonna be Limbane muted all the way through. Trying to get on Ultras as well, I fear, with this Infestation Pit being dropped rather soon. Damrud trying to go for a 4th base of his own and a double Evo Chamber to just get the upgrades going on for him, but Blisk spreading his Queens, Hydras and Spore Crawlers in the best way possible. Right now, Blisk is a little blind on the map, doesn't see what's going on the map. As you can see, Blisk doesn't basically know what's going on, while Damrud has vision all over the map right now. Hard supply block for Blisk as well after the 2 Olos that were trying to flee through the map have been killed. Right now, Blisk trying to get for another scout of his own, and right now also getting a cancel on top of the Distractor. Not a big deal, but it is something. Blisk is gonna see the Infestation Pit, he's gonna see the Hive, he's gonna see the double Evo, he's gonna see everything that's going on in Damrud's base. And right now, these many Hydras can easily deal against these Mutas with this strong upgrade they have. Okay, so Blisk trying to dive on top of his opponent. Baneling speed has also been researched by Damrud, but really good split by Blisk are eventually going to minimize those Baneling's damage, but many Mutas are still alive, and right now 8 more Banelings are being morphed. I don't think Blisk's army is strong enough to deal with what Damrud has, and the Banelings are actually getting some pretty good connections over here, really good splits by Blisk, but enough splash damage for the Mutas to eventually clear house of these Hydras. 40 more Hydras in production. Damrud knows these many Mutas are eventually going to chip his army down once the Banelings deal enough damage. But not a lot of economic damage being dealt by Blisk. I think Damrud has got himself to a point in which the advantage is just too big. Blisk knows it and calls the GG. Really strong game by Damrud once again with the Muta play. And Blisk just slightly too eager of dealing damage to his opponent. Third game is gonna be on Acropolis. And will Blisk be able to climb back into this series? Sorry, need some water. Spawning in the top left-hand corner, leading the series 2-0. Heading from Poland, it's the Blue Zerg Damrud. Spawning instead in the bottom right-hand corner, it is Blisk. Oh, 15, 14? Okay, we're into cheese territory right now, everybody. Blisk going for the extractor trick and going for one more drone, and actually is gonna get dropped, and a lot of lanes are gonna stream through the map at 3 minutes. That's what's gonna happen. Will Damrud be able to hold this with queens on the ramp, or will he be greedy? Okay, Blisk establishing his cheese, getting his spawning pool really early, extractor really early, and there is just one way to scout this, and it's actually the creep being a slightly more established compared to your own base, since as you can see, as this archer has 650 HPs, this one is already 900, so this one is gonna be finished way sooner than the one by Damrud. I just want to see the camera of Damrud once it reaches this base to see if he actually tries to scout for the creep Okay, right now sends the drones to the natural to fake some droning into the natural. Really cool move by Blisk, who's going into mass link production. Okay, the overload by Diamond is gonna hit this natural really soon. And right now, let's see if the Zerg player by... Okay, is it just the 4 lanes? He can probably think, okay, it's just 4 lanes, but he also sees the creep. Does he pay enough attention to it? He saw this much creep compared to his base. Is of course a big difference. Dropping a Baneley nest really as soon as possible, but that's not really the way to go. You just have to hold the ramp. Okay, getting some kills with those lanes, of course, just right now is still pretty good. Blisk just trying to make Damrut do some mistakes. I hope he doesn't give Link speed away that easily. Or maybe that's exactly what he wants to do. Okay, no, he basically sacrifices his own lanes to not give link speed away, but right now these many lanes are just screaming through, and Damrut tries to wall off the natural, placing the queen into attack that position, but I don't think it's gonna do this on time. And once these links are in, there's basically no way for Damrut to eventually hold this. The first queen falls, the second is gonna fall soon. 16 links are in production. The Paints are trying to do as much damage as they can, but there is nothing right now for Damrut. Only these 16 links being produced by the blue Zerg, but he eventually calls the GG. The cheese has worked. Blisk gets his first victory in this best of 5 series. A really anticlimactic ending to this game, but that's what cheese do. Game 4, Thunderbird. Let's see if Blisk is gonna be able to even the score, or is he gonna fall 3-1 against a really good opponent. Here we are on Thunderbird. Oh, yeah. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner as the blue Zerg leading the series 2-1. It is Thunderbird. Spawning instead in the top left hand corner, once again going for the extractor trick. It's the red Zerg Blisk. Oh gosh, he's going for the same cheese again. Something that it's not really advised in a best of 5 series, but it can net you a free win that really makes your opponent mad. Damrut going for a 17 hatch, his standard play. Okay, this is gonna be definitely again a 15-14 link flood by Blisk. Damrut not seeing a second overload through the map is probably gonna be one of the first calls for him. Oh, another extractor trick over here to sneak one more drone in. Okay, the overload is being made, and right now Blisk with this spawning pool almost finished, almost on 100 gas, he can start his link production. He's probably going to fake the droning in the natural once again. Yeah, he is. But he's not pulling every single drone from gas. Okay, he is. I don't think the Damrut's overload is gonna get into the main anytime soon. But okay, it produces a queen in the natural as well. to make it look like it's normal play, but a lot of links are in production. Also, trying to shoot that overload away is something really important. But right now, Damrud seems like he took a look only at the creep and is backing off with his overload. He saw that much creep. He knows this is an early arch. He's still gonna get a third base. So probably he doesn't... Okay, see 6 links right now. Baneliness immediately dropped after the third base. Just once again a very standard play. So I don't see how Damrud wants to hold this if he actually manages to understand what's going on. Blisk being really clever, just sending drones to his natural and producing mass links. But right now, link speed is done and a stream of links is gonna go through the map once more. Right now, Damrud knows, but his queens are a little bit off position. Baneliness almost done. And this is probably going to be his saving grace. He sees the links flooding in, and Thunderbird is a big map. All it takes for this cheese to fail is one good Banelink connection. Damrud not pressing the E key too strongly, but Blisk just doesn't have enough links, it seems. With the production Damrud has, I don't think Blisk will eventually cut this. 5 workers less, and Damrud just has a Baneliness done. Blisk doesn't even have gas. Every single trade Blisk is gonna try to take is gonna be forced into a bad location by Banelings. And Damrud also has more links right now. Almost all of the links by Blisk fall to just 1 Baneling, and 3 more are going through the map right now. Army supply for Damrud is higher. He has stack, he has an evolution chamber going on, he has a third base almost finished. Actually, it's halfway through. But right now, Damrud is establishing a pretty strong advantage. Also starting +1 melee. Probably wanting to go into Mutas once again. But I don't think this is gonna be needed, since Blisk is so behind on tech that those Banelings can basically end the game if they're allowed to. Blisk not really paying attention to those links, it seems. And okay, first good connection with the Banelings, the second one is slightly less good. But right now, Damrud is not really controlling well his Banelings. Not that it looks like he needs it, since he has so many more links in production, so many more links alive. He has Banelings, he has everything it takes to win this game. Blisk is gonna call the GG very soon. Now all he has are those links to try and defend, but they are less than the links by Damrud. And Banelings go into the drones, 6 of them fall. Eventually, Damrud is gonna clear all of the links of his opponent with these Banelings. More and more links streaming through. All of Blisk's links getting surrounded, and there is nothing going on for the Red Zerg. No tech, just a lair being started. Very greedy lair as well. He cannot out micro his opponent with so many links being alive. He just goes the GG. He knows there is no way for him to win this game. And Damrud gets the win in week 1 of Alpha X Apprentice. 2 very intense games, one after the other. But eventually Damrud has been able to sneak his victory into week 2. So okay, right now things are gonna get a little bit shakier, since the games I have for are for week 2 and week 3, and are the games by Blisk. So Asuna versus Blisk and Tokon versus Blisk. So we're gonna follow the path of our Zerg player, and we'll see if he's gonna be able to advance by netting in 2 victories in week 2 and week 3, or is he gonna fall after losing to Damrud in week 1? Let's see Asuna versus Blisk. Game 1, Disco Bloodbath. ZVP, of course. Oh, hope my game doesn't crash. It didn't crash. Blisk versus Asuna, Disco Bloodbath. Spawning in the top left hand corner, we have a red Zerg player. Just losing a series to Damrud, it is Blisk. Spawning instead in the bottom right hand corner, it is the blue Protoss. It's Asuna. Okay, no cheese this time for Blisk. While Asuna probably going for a gateway expand of his own. It doesn't look like he likes the cheese a lot. But Blisk sending a drone for the map? This is gonna get interesting. Where is this drone being sent to? Okay, this is gonna be a hatch block, well, a nexus block with the drone for Blisk. But Disco Bloodbath is a pretty huge map. So Asuna wants to drop the gateway basically now. But it seems like the drone is in time. This is a Bly build and it's a very nasty one at that. So Blisk is gonna drop an archery over here and suddenly Asuna cannot place his nexus yet, while Blisk is gonna just slightly delay his spawning pool. Spawning pool is gonna be placed basically now. Yes, it is. While Asuna is just here left attacking this hatchery that is gonna be cancelled and morphed into an evolution chamber soon. But after this block, honestly, what really matters is Blisk going to be able to eventually... Oh, no evolution chamber, and suddenly this is a disaster for Blisk that has to get away with the drone, and Asuna can place his nexus just right now after this small piece of creep just vanished. Yeah, now he can. Okay, the drone is being sent back home. Spawning pool just finishes right now, and one Zealot Shrine will try to get as much damage as possible to force some units out and eventually to escape from the queens being made. I don't think this is gonna deal a lot of damage. Disco Bloodbath is a huge map, but this is something that can happen. It's not really that easy to drop an evolution chamber after the hatchery, so it's a very intense micro move. But these adepts... Okay, right now the Zealot on top of the fur base location, as well as the adept, so just trying to chip some HP away from it to eventually try and kill it later. Asuna went for a Stalker to deny as much scouting as possible, and I think this overload is eventually going to fall. Blisk is not being really clutch with his play. He's also going to lose a lot of lanes to the Zealot and Adept, since no speed has been researched yet, and the Zealot and the Adept find a really good tucked-in position. The Adept will probably try to get as many kills as possible and then just shade away. That's a little bit too many lanes lost for basically nothing. And 200 minerals in the early game can make a big difference. Okay, blind spore colors for Blisk right now to try and defend. Okay, this adept is probably going to fall right now, so pretty good play by Blisk, who's also trying to chip at the Stalker away. And okay, right now he is tucked into a good spot, but the lanes are okay. Wow, this is a wall. Gosh. Okay, the lanes are eventually going to get the Zealot as well, forcing Asuna to some to make a little bit of Sim City into his base. But anyway, Asuna eventually is going to clear those lanes away, while Blisk establishing a third base, a really good worker lead, and it seems like his proxy arch might have netted him a pretty good advantage. Hello Animan, how's it going, man? Happy to see you in here. Okay, right now Asuna going for the Stalker attack with 2 Zealots. A pretty weird attack if you ask me. But nonetheless, he can get a Queen kill here and there. He can get some really good trades with lanes. Charge almost finished. And these Zealots are actually going to deal a lot of damage to these lanes. Right now forcing 8 more lanes into production. And this archery is eventually going to fall after being dealt so much damage with the Zealot and the Adept. Some time before, 3 Spine Crawlers being moved and the Queens actually tucked in, but not with a lot of energy, a drone pool, and suddenly Blisk's supply advantage is not netting him as much as he thought he would. The surround with the link with the drones, of course, not being really good as long as the War Prism is alive. Just one of the Queens actually has fallen, but 33 drones. This is not going well for Blisk and Asuna, morphing more and more Zealots, and this is how he ends the game. Blisk calls the GG and Asuna gets the lead in game 1 of this best of 5 series. Yeah, I see a Polish man telling me I know nothing about pizza in the chat, man. Of course, that doesn't even bother me. Let's get into game 2 of Asuna versus Blisk. Asuna with a very powerful recover from the proxy arch, getting the victory in game 1. Spawning in the top right hand corner, lagging 1 point behind in this best of 3 series. Best of 5, sorry. It is Blisk. Victor of game 1 and week 1. Trying to get the 6 points. The 2 victories in week 2. It is the Blue Protoss Asuna. Okay, Blisk not going for something really cheesy this game as well, at least yet. Is it though? Yeah, okay, he's gonna place an archery in his natural, and that's already something, you know? While Asuna sending his probe through the map to get a good scout of his opponent's main base and see that nothing cheesy is coming outside of it. Of course, World of Sleepers, not a really big map, but a pretty, well, just the rush distance is not that big, but it's a really wide map, allowing Zerg of getting some really good engagements. But once again, Blisk is going for the same build he went for Damrud against Damrud in game 1 and game 2. Oh gosh, that was a really good move, almost getting the probe. And dropping an early spawning pool before actually having finished in saturated the mineral lines. So Asuna being forced into a little bit of a overreaction over here, not knowing his opponent. Dropping, okay, this is really clever by Asuna though, placing the probe over here to eventually scout that no drone is coming to pick these minerals off, while also making a really good wall over here with the cybernetic score and the second gateway, but still no second nexus in the natural. Okay, Asuna sees the drones being pulled, but Blisk still pretty rich on gas. Those 4 drones are eventually going to shoo away the probe, And Asuna might think right now, okay, I may have overreacted, but let's place a Nexus over here. Double Adept being produced, and this could deal some damage against unupgraded Lings. But the Queens are gonna be what takes to shoot those Adepts away. Of course, getting 2 or 3 drones killed this early in the game, it's already a really big deal. Especially against Zerg. Blisk going for a Fur base. It's not gonna get denied by the probe. And right now the Adepts are getting into the natural middle line, trying to shade into the main. The Lings trying to get us around, but right now the Adepts shading to the main, not in a really good spot. They're gonna get some drone kills, 1 falls down. But it's especially Lings that are falling down in this scenario. Right now the Adepts are trying to get it into the natural, but to escape, not to deal any more damage. And 2 Adepts are gonna fall. Another really good trade by Asuna, who lost a lot of gas. He lost 50. Oh, what are those drones doing? Oh, so it is what Asuna thought it was gonna be. Blisk is gonna try and mine those minerals out to scream some Lings in, but Asuna is well prepared for this scenario. The Stargate placed to wall off over here, and right now Blisk is gonna find a pretty bad surprise waiting for him right here. Asuna sees everything right now. He's not distracted by the Lings inside attacking the wall. And right now this Ling flood might prove not what it takes for Blisk to eventually go through this really small pathway. Now that the Oracle is out, it's gonna be really hard for Blisk to recover back into this game. 6 more drones in production, but the Oracle is gonna get some damage done. How much energy does he have? Oh, actually, he deactivated how's it called? The something pulse, I think. Pulse ray? I don't know. But anyway, the Oracle is just gonna scout while some more Lings are trying to break through the wall placed by Asuna. But I don't really think this is gonna cut it. Okay, Blisk trying to find anything he can to break through. But Asuna, with some really good preparation, is gonna deny everything that's coming from Blisk that is right now really behind on tech. Just now placing a Baneley Nest, not having a lair, not having Evo Chambers. Just 4 Colorus, 2 Queens, and a lot of Lings. Also supply blocked right now. Asuna seems like he's doing everything perfectly. Stargate, Robo, Twilight, he has the choice to do everything he wants. Just being blocked on his 2 Nexus, but I don't think the Blue Protoss wants to go for a Fur base anytime soon. Second Oracle in production, Resonating Glaives, a War Prism is gonna be produced soon, and this is gonna be a powerful attack by Asuna with just a lot of Adepts and a timing attack that could eventually kill. Okay, 5 more workers being killed by Asuna's Oracles. I did not understand the comment by Token, but well, who knows. Anyway, a 3rd Oracle being produced and Resonating Glaives almost done. Those Lings are trying to catch if everything is coming, and they're gonna catch a lot of Adepts. Right now, Blisk knows this is probably going to be an Adept timing attack, but he's researching just +1 melee. Right now, those Banelings are probably not gonna be enough, especially without speed. And the Oracles get into the main. They are gonna deal easily with this 1 Queen, and they're trying to get some more workers killed over here. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with the Adepts being shaded into the Fur base. 15 workers being killed. These Banelings, oh gosh, this is risky by Asuna. But with some good splits, he just gets every single drone, 30 drones. Those 2 games have not been too good games to be a drone in. 35 drones being killed by Asuna, and a victory going into game 3. Saltgun. Okay, I might like that nickname. Ephemeron Asuna vs Blaze, game 3. Let's see if our third player is gonna find just some cheesy build to deal with his opponent, like he did in the games versus Damred, or if he's trying to just macro it out, even though Asuna being really well prepared for his opponent apparently. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner, it is the Red Zerg. 2 points behind in this best of 5 series, it is Blaze. Okay, it's a 15-14 nonetheless. Spawning in the top left hand corner as the blue Protoss, it is Asuna. Yeah, it is a 15-14. It looks like Blisk really likes this build. Anyway, Asuna going for a scout. A probe scout can at least get a glimpse of what this build is eventually going to be. It's not easy to scout, but you can check the HPs on the... Yeah, okay, actually I think... No, he didn't click on it. So he doesn't know how many HPs does he have, but oh gosh, he still went for a forge. Okay, probably knows. Wait. Did Asuna see this? Yes, he did. And he places... Okay, so... Oh gosh. 15-14 against the Cannon Rush. That's basically... Oh, gosh. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I wanted to click this button. So, just barely outside of vision and without a third overload... Sorry, without a second overload being produced by Blisk, this pylon is never gonna get scouted. And right now, Photon Cannon will go up uncontested. Blisk just right now sees what's going on. A Photon Cannon right next to that archery. And suddenly the 15-14 by Blisk is basically history. No way he can break that Cannon Rush just with links. Asuna with a strong Cannon Rush play. Not even having to send a second probe in. Right now, Blisk trying to send links through the map, but those are unupgraded links. And just Blisk feeling safely, knowing that Asuna is not going for a Nexus yet. Okay, all of the links into the being produced into the natural are going to eventually fall, but those 2 links are going to stream in. Of course, those are 2 slow links, so just this Adept is gonna easily deal with them. But Blisk is losing the archery. Of course, Roach Warren and Lair being produced to eventually go for a Nidus all-in to break the proxy with Ravagers. Actually, it doesn't need Ravagers, we just need this Queen. And maybe some... Oh gosh. The probe eventually falls down, so Blisk officially breaks the contain into his main. But it's not easy for him to break through, especially since there is a robotics facility being produced by Asuna. They're almost done. And right now, Blisk has to plan something to break his opponent. Okay, Infestation Pit, so this is going to be Swarmos into an Nidus. But Asuna gets everything. Okay, doesn't get the Infestation Pit, but he gets the Nidus. He's gonna be prepared for the Nidus play. And Infestation Pit going for Swarm. Oh gosh, Asuna doesn't scout the Infestation Pit barely with his Adept. But he knows there are 2 gases fully mining and there is a Nidus network being produced. Okay, what? Asuna just killed his own probe. I don't know why, but he just killed his own probe. And right now, Blisk officially breaks what's left of the contain. They made him go into this very weird build that has been proven really strong against cannon rushes. Overload speed to try and get some better Nidus networks going on, but Asuna is trying to establish a second base location, and I don't think that two Swarmers are going to cut it. A third one is gonna be in production, I think, soon. Those things are expensive, I can tell you that. Roaches, of course, just this single immortal can deal with probably 8 roaches at once. Well, not 8 roaches, but how many roaches does? Yeah, 4 roaches are not enough. Anyway, the first Nidus Swarm, sorry, is going up over here. Asuna is not blindsided by the Overseer, so right now he knows there is no immediate threat to his base. He tries to get a catch with his Warp Prism, and he's gonna catch those Wormos out of creep. Oh gosh, this is a disaster for Blisk that loses both his Wormos and is being forced to use Locust in the worst possible way. Right now a Spire being dropped by Blisk, but Spire play on one base, not something you really want to do. Blisk trying to get another Nidus play over here, but he just has one single Swarmos going on for him. I don't think it's gonna get a lot of Does Asuna see this? Yes, he does. A lot of probe kills. And I don't think this Nidus is gonna do basically everything. There are a lot of roaches in here, a lot of lanes. These Locusts are going to join the fray right now. But just this one Immortal and the shield battery are gonna be way more than enough to eventually hold this. Just a pylon is going to fall. Blisk retreats into the Nidus Swarm, back home into the Nidus network, and the Spire is gonna be his only saving grace. Resonating Glaze once again for Asuna is the play. Not exactly what you want to have against Mutas, but there are not gonna be a lot of Mutas for Blisk. You just 2 gases right now, 3 Mutas are everything that the Zerg player can afford, so he's back into droning to get a full natural saturation. But as soon as Asuna hits with his Immortals and a Death play, I don't think there is gonna be a lot of... Yeah, the Adepts are gonna get shaded in, are gonna get warped in really soon. But it's basically those Immortals that are winning the game for Asuna. Asuna backs away with Immortals, tries to get into the main, and right now he will start to warp in as many Adepts as he can with Resonating Blades. Those lanes are gonna be history soon. More Adepts are being warped in, and the Immortals are into the main, trying to deal as much damage as possible to this lair, and one single Muta. Not what you want to have against 3 Stalkers, against these many Adepts, these many Immortals. After a successful cannon rush, Asuna is going to be able eventually to get this game. I think the Warp Prism is not gonna make it, but please going for a third base out of 25 workers and just some Mutas against 3 Stalkers, a lot of Adepts. The spawning pool actually falls, and right now Blisk desperately going for a drone surround. Those Mutas trying all they can to eventually clear everything. They will get the Stalkers, the only anti-air, so everything in the army of Asuna is gonna get cleared off. But Asuna has had plenty of time to prepare back home for those Mutas. A lot of shield batteries, a lot of cannons, a lot of gateways, Warp Prism being produced, and right now also Archons are gonna be at the ready. Another Nidus for Blisk. to try and force his opponent back home, but those mutas flies through these many stalkers. A lot of them are gonna fall in the Archons as well. Blisk losing half of his mutas and didn't have as many. Anyway, this single Heroes Warmos is trying to do as much as he can, but Asuna, doubling the supply of his opponent, is definitely winning game 3 of the series and heading into week 3 with a full victory score. 6 mats for the Protoss player. Okay, for the last game of today's stream, we're gonna have Tokon versus Blisk. Blisk with 2 losses, sadly, in the first 2 matches, is probably or most likely not going to. Actually, is 100%, I think, not going into the next stage of the tournament. But of course, this game is important for just pride against one of the other powerhouses of our team. It's gonna be Tokon versus Blisk, game 1. Let's see if our Zerg player is able to get at least 1 victory into this series, into this group. He's spawning in the top left corner. It is a Zerg, and he is red. It is Blisk. Oh, this drone. What is he doing? What is he doing? Does Blisk know Tokon is Terran? Well, I just said it. He's Tokon, he's Terran, and he's blue. And he's spawning in the bottom right hand corner of the map. Tokon. Okay, I'm really curious about this. I never seen this kind of play being done against Terran by a Zerg. I'm very, very curious of this. Okay, Tokon getting into position to place his command center, and he's probably gonna think what is happening right now, but Blisk just decides to place his archery slightly off, as long as he's denying the command center. But Tokon is gonna probably think, okay, I'm just gonna place it over there and lift it later. So a very weird play by Blisk. I'm so curious to see what is gonna become from him right now. What is he doing? This is so weird. Tokon of course on the blind right now. The barracks just finishes and it doesn't even produce a Reaper. It just makes a Marine to kill the proxy arch as soon as he can. But right now, Blisk actually expanding first to a sphere base location and then to his second. Maybe to blindside his opponent, but okay, a bunker in the main for Tokon, who's trying to be as defensive as possible. Not placing a command center yet, so playing on 1 base right now. Of course, Terran can do a lot of stuff on 1 base against Zerg on 1 base as well. And the spawning pool by Blisk is gonna be so late after basically a free arch into spawning pool play. So Tokon will definitely have a lot of units going on for him before Blisk can eventually take up and get as many links as he can possibly have to deal with any kind of early aggression by Terran. Okay, so Tokon is still pretty scared by this proxy, fearing anything might come out of it, but Blisk looks like he just wants to make overloads out of this. He's not really committed into it. I don't think a single unit died this game. Yeah, they didn't. But Blisk didn't produce a single unit, so Those two queens are gonna be the first units being produced by Blisk in the whole game, who's still hitting heavily the drone key. Of course, getting a big advantage on drones, on workers, thanks to his larva advantage. But yeah, Tokon right now placing the tank on the background and just oh gosh, I can't believe he can shoot over there. He's just barely out of range of this tank, but Tokon can just literally send a single marine through. It allowed this archery to produce so many overlords right now that might have been killed by just a couple marines. Oh, so he was just out of vision. That was the issue. Anyway, Tokon shooting at that archery and just now making his command center. So also hitting a supply block. Just a little bit of miscontrol for Tokon right now, while Blisk also supply blocked, but feeling pretty safe on 40 workers right now and researching +1 carapace. Okay, another big supply block this game. This time Blisk 5 supply ahead of his supply limit, and this Viking is probably going to make it even worse. Blisk forced into producing 5 more overlords, and this might slow him down by quite a bit. Blisk trying to send some links in as well, but with 2 tanks on the high ground, there's no way those links can do basically anything. Overload speed being produced by Blisk to try and get the less damage as possible by this Viking. It is right now getting into the third base to get a scout, at least to see how many workers are here. Okay, Blisk taking 3 more gases, probably dropping his lair soon to try and take up to the next stage of his plan. With the second Evo chamber, he's gonna try and get double upgrades, and we're gonna see if it's gonna be ranged or melee, but I see more lanes being produced by Blisk actually being sent over here. What a weird spot to send lanes in, to probably try and catch his opponent units in the middle of the map. Blisk doesn't look really scared about any possible drops. His units are not really spread throughout his bases. He's just now getting a lair, getting +1 melee, while on the other side of the map, Tokon, being forced into one base so long, has built literally a powerhouse of production, 5 barracks, 1 factory with tech lab and 1 reactorate starport. And his army is really strong right now. Against an army that doesn't have banelings, this could be troubles for Blisk. Who's trying to break those rocks to avoid Tokon to get a free sieging position on top of here and trying to move forward over here. But it seems like Tokon has chosen exactly the opposite path, and Blisk just trying to expand a little bit everywhere, maybe greeding it out a little bit. This base is gonna be definitely cancelled soon. Grand Carapace just being finished by Blisk, and right now Tokon hiding his tanks, but I think Blisk knows there are tanks in here. Okay, he drops them over here. Actually, Blisk opened a pathway to his third base location on the high ground by clearing those minerals, and right now Tokon freely shooting at drones. There's not a lot of army for Blisk going on, not a lot of banelings. And those are slow banelings. The third base location for Blisk is gonna fall. Of course, the fourth base is established, so he can just safely transfer the drones, but those are slow banes and they are getting into tank range. Trying to get us around good baneling connections, and Blisk eventually clears the whole of his opponent's army without breaking a sweat. Blisk having got his 4th base. Of course, feeling pretty safe over here. But there is 2 tanks and a lot of marines over here. Blisk cannot feel really safely about it. Token raises his supply deepets and prevents those links from streaming in. I don't think it's gonna be a delayed Bane Bust, but Token trying to get some damage done with those 2 Medivacs. But he eventually just gets away with them, gets a free overload on top of here, and those Banelings are not gonna get some good connections. 6 Banelings for 6 Marines is definitely not what you want to go for. Blisk double expanding after losing one archery and going straight into Hive with some mutas in his army. The third player is trying to get some map control with a very fast army, but oh my gosh, all 4 meters of Blisk being annihilated by those marines being just at the right place at the right time. And right now, even an anti-armor missile on top of those links. 3, 4 drones, 6 drones are gonna fall. These are a lot of Banes being produced, but Blisk just slightly overextending with his units and not producing what he actually needed to produce. Token getting game 1 with a quite convincing victory. Well. Token looking good in game 1 after being a little bit too scared of getting a proxy location, but Blisk going for some very fancy builds and not just slightly having the right follow-up to eventually end the game while having some really good connections, some really good engagements with good Bane connections in some moments. Anyway, here we are on Triton, spawning in the top left hand corner. It is a red Zerg. It is Blisk. And what is this drone going for? Yes, he is going for a hatchback. Spawning instead in the bottom right hand corner is the blue Terran. It is Token. Well. It looks like Blisk really likes to go for these kind of hatch blocks. This is gonna come slightly earlier than before, so Token is not gonna be there on time, I think. Okay, he's gonna be there on time. But I mean, Terran can just place his command center slightly away. He was gonna win this. The SCV, yeah, the SCV is gonna win this. Okay, he plays a supply depot, that's fancy. Sends another. Okay, no hatch block for Blisk. Was just back into his normal micro. 17 hatch, 17 extractor, and now 17 pool is gonna be dropped right here to scout any possible drops coming in. And Token is probably gonna expand as soon as he starts the Reaper. And Reaper starts, and is now probably going to expand. Of course, orbital command first. But everything is pretty standard right now, since the proxy hatch has been denied so well by our blue Terran. Blisk making one more drone than he was supposed to, unless he's going for the Clash Opener. The Clash Opener is really good in the current meta if you go for link speed, but if you go for overload speed, can basically mean death to player Lux Bio. What is this drone doing? Why is he expanding over here? Blisk being really fancy. Okay, it's just hiding the drone. It's just hiding the drone. No Clash Opener for Blisk, who's going for the 20, well, for the 19 overload, so he's just now at 36 supply limit, trying to shoot the Reaper away without getting damage done. But okay, one Link is gonna fall, two Links are gonna fall to this Reaper, and the Reaper tax has been paid. One more Link is gonna fall. Oh gosh. That's basically a disaster. But the drone eventually get the third base location without breaking as well. Togon getting an orbital command. Okay, so Roach Warren is the tech choice for Blisk. Right now Reaper trying to get into the main, but he's gonna get probably surrounded, but the queens are too slow to chase him away, and these things are too slippery. Not a good scout by Togon, of course, but getting every single Link Togon produced. No, sorry, Blisk produced. Okay, I think Blisk might want to go into Nidus play. I feel like this older placement is a little bit off, but Togon is gonna be well prepared for that. 8 roaches in production. That's not really defensive, that's a lot of roaches being produced by our Zerg player. 11, 12 roaches, any more roaches that he produce from now on are definitely making me think of a powerful attack. Okay, 8 Links in production as well. This is definitely going to be a strong attack. Blisk just using this space for larva and not making any more drones. 20 Links in production, but a Banshee with cloak is probably gonna be way enough to deal with this. As long as these aliens can clear the lanes, the Banshee can make a quick work of the roaches before they can deal any more damage. Okay, the roaches are right now at the doorstep of Tokon's base. No Ravagers being moved since Blisk is so low on gas. The first roach is gonna fall and Tokon is just repairing the supply depots. Okay, aliens do not deal a lot of damage to roaches, but they are quite fast at dealing with Links. So Blisk trying to break through, having those roaches trying to kill as many aliens as possible, but they get into a pretty good spot, avoiding this round. This Ravager is being focused by the Banshee. 4 SCVs are going to fall to a single bile, but the attack by Blisk is gonna get easily cleared soon. 8 drones in production by Blisk. He's gonna be ahead in workers really soon, and he's gonna know what's coming out of Tokon's base, but right now his whole army is history. 1 more alien is gonna fall and 7 SCVs are everything that's gonna fall in this attack, alongside the supply depots. Overall, a good attack by Blisk, but nothing game changing. This attack just basically paid off for itself, without placing the Zerg player too much ahead, and without placing the Terran player behind, really. Okay, Blisk transfers some drones into the third base location, still not getting his second, third and fourth gas. But right now Blisk just spreading his drones. It doesn't look like he's actually taking up. Okay, this single Banshee is basically gonna force every single unit back into the Spore Crawler range. Okay, Togon just slightly overextended with that single Banshee. Right now only some creep tumors are gonna fall. Those 2 aliens trying to get some kills on the drones, but of course the most important things those 2 aliens can do is getting some more info on what's coming outside of the base of Blisk. 3 drones are going to fall, but he sees the lair, he sees the 2 gases in the natural. He basically knows that his opponent is trying to get to a more comfortable unit composition. Plasma melee is the upgrade of choice of Blisk, so I feel this is probably going to be a Muta play, since 3 more gases are gonna get added. So a total of 6 gases. I still do not see... Okay, yeah, he's also filling those gases. He has almost enough gas to start a Spire. But okay, he's going for every single upgrade. Gladiator Constitution, +1 Ranged, +1 Carapace, and he's now dropping Hydroden. So he's gonna make links. Okay, I think he actually cancelled the... Yeah, he actually cancelled the +1 melee, and he decided to go for a Roach Hydra composition. I don't actually know what made him change his mind, but he wants to go for the ranged army. This overseer is basically gonna see everything that's into the base of his opponent, but this archery is gonna get cancelled. And the drop into the main actually is gonna deal some serious damage. 2 queens are going to fall, probably 2 ravagers, and Tokon just kills Blisk like that. Blisk didn't have a single unit to clear this. What a weird game I've just witnessed. Blisk probably calling a slightly too early GG, but he fell so behind after losing all of his army in that attack, and not being able to actually push his macro forward. But right now, game 3, our third player is well known for having some really good cheeses, and we'll see if he's gonna be able to sneak in a victory to climb back into this series in game 3. Spawning in the in the top left hand corner of Disco Bloodbath is a red Zerg Blaze. Spawning instead in the bottom right hand corner, leading 2-0 in his best of 5 series, trying to get his first victory in Alpha X Apprentice. It is Tokon. Okay, Blisk, not going for a cheese, not yet at least. So for the first time, we're gonna see something as standard as possible coming from both players. Blisk getting a 17 hatch, and Tokon instead getting a standard barracks expand build. No SCV Scout. Of course, SCV Scout is not that popular anymore, especially in such a big map as Disco Bloodbath. Basically everything that hits you, you should be able to see it with the Reaper anyway. And of course, the Reaper is a unit being... Is this game... Okay, this game has not been played with game art. I fear this game has not been played with game art. And I hate you guys for doing so. Just play your damn games with game art, please. Anyway, spawning pool almost being done, and right now Tokon expanding on the low ground, getting supply depots. Everything is really standard right now, but this thing is a little bit off. So Blisk is gonna delay his queens by quite some time by placing the sphere base, and basically this is a build that really risks dying to any timing attack done by the Terran, and of course it's a build you have to do blindly. At this time the queens are gonna be so late for the Reaper that this Reaper might deal a lot of damage into the natural, especially. Right now the Reaper tries to get into the main, but he doesn't quite see the third base. Okay, he actually decides to stay into the main, killing every single link. 3 links have fallen. Once again, Blisk a little bit shaky with his link control, and right now Tokon gets on top of the third base location. Now he knows that's an early third because it has been produced for so much time since it was almost done. And probably Tokon is gonna go for something slightly more aggressive. Of course, Reactor Factory gaining his 4 aliens to try and deal some damage to the economy of Blisk. But at the same time, our third player is establishing a really good income with so much larva. I just want to see what is being produced in this thing. Just play your damn games with game art. Anyway, a Liberator being produced by this starport. So this is gonna be 4 aliens and a Liberator. Standard harassment by Tokon, trying to just get some damage done to the... Okay, this Reaper is eventually going to fall. Just trying to get some damage dealt to the economy of Blisk, or just denying some mining time. And of course, after losing the Reaper to those links, well played, and the Queen, Tokon feared something weird might have come from Blisk, so you just scan the main, seeing basically nothing come outside of it. Okay, those links are actually streaming in, but the aliens are out, so no way they can deal some damage. Blisk has a lot of workers. Maybe he has too many workers. He doesn't have units at the ready to deal with them. And it's just 5 links against 6 aliens, a Liberator. I think Blisk basically has nothing to do with these Liberators. And that is a damn shame. Okay, tries to get wheels around, but it's too few links. He's gonna lose basically all the drones in this space. He tries to attack them, and of course I can't see how many drones have died, but I can tell you a lot of drones have died right now, and many more are dying into the main to this Liberator. Blisk producing 11 drones, but he already lost... How many did he lost? Oh gosh, he lost 20 workers to this multi-pronged attack. He just goes to GG. There is no way he can recover from this. Tokon gets a victory in week 3 of the Group C, while Blisk, of course, eliminated from this tournament. And of course, Blisk, a really good player, so I'm eager to see him into the next editions, next seasons of Alpha X Apprentice. But it's been really fun to have you in this tournament and casting these games. I hope you can do better in the next season. But anyway, this is all for today. Yeah, there is a steel code for it. Anyway, this is all for today. After casting 4 of these best of 5 series, I'm just curious to see who's gonna come on top between Tokon and Damrud, because guys, it's gonna be... If Tokon actually wins against Damrud, even if Damrud wins against Asuna, it's gonna be... I think it's gonna be Tokon who goes through. So we're gonna see. It's all up to the rivalry between the 2 Polish men in Alpha X to decide who's gonna come out of Group C. Unless Damrud wins against Asuna, but Asuna looking so good against both Tokon and Blisk. So it's just those games that are left, and we'll see who's gonna come on top in Group C. Is it gonna be Tokon, is it gonna be Asuna, or is it gonna be Damrud? Find out Sunday, 7 PM, actually 6 PM CST, and I'll see you there for the next casting of Alpha X Apprentice. See you everybody, good games, good luck and fun on ladder.